My amplified unit, top of the morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world, salute. You know, BC was just thinking about the word irony and how some things in life are just ironic, right? And sometimes those words, irony and ironic, they get lumped in with karma. But those are two separate things, right? Irony, things that are ironic, is when something happens and it ends up being the total opposite of what you were expecting. Right? It's ironic. I was waiting for one thing and I got the total opposite. And then there's karma. Karma is just when you're a douchebag. You do something so foolish and stupid and the universe smacks you upside your dome piece. That's karma. She can be a bitch. You don't want to piss her off. It's funny. It's funny to BC anyway, that Time Warner Discovery, right? WarnerMedia, who's in a firestorm as of late for many reasons. One of them being blocking Tony Khan from putting together an actual tribute show live on Wednesday night's Dynamite show when the whole world could have used that show, those moments, to kind of ease their pain, right? Realize nobody's alone here. We're all celebrating Jay Briscoe the right way. We're all doing it together. That was Tony Khan's tag team champion for ROH. Surely there's going to be such a beautiful tribute throughout the 2 hours. No matter how it's done, AEW will do it correctly. But no, Tony Khan did nothing but a graphic at the start of the show, and then the wrestlers wore some armbands, as if it was a regular Joe Schmo. This was a tag team champion. Currently, he's the tag team champion for ROH, owned by Tony Khan, and he gets a graphic. And you wondered, well, there has to be more to the story, right? No. You knew WarnerMedia was behind it. It was just about if Tony was going to have the balls to step up, or is he going to say, no, this could hurt my business, this could hurt my TV contract, I ain't fucking around with WarnerMedia, I'm just going to obey, right? A lot of people said BC, his hands were tied, what could he do? Well, you were right. He did nothing, tucked his balls away, and he fucking made sure that next TV contract is in tow. I get it, business, right? Whether you think it's right or wrong, it's another story for another day. But WarnerMedia, those are some straight scumbags. Something happens a decade ago, they apologize, they give their fucking paychecks to the fucking cause, they show you they've changed, they've never made the same fucking mistake twice, they grew up, they matured, and you still can't forgive them, even when they passed away and they're no longer with us. No, we cannot have them on the show. You can do a tribute show later and put it on YouTube, which is what Tony Khan had to do, and it's so fucking sad, by the way. I saw images. It looked like a beautiful tribute. Eddie Kingston's walking up the rampway. You have this big fucking, on the big Tron, you had an image of Jay Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston's like on his knee just showing that love. It would have been so great to see this on Dynamite live when we all could have used this tribute. We could have used this time to come together and really celebrate the life of Jay, but no. WarnerMedia made sure that didn't happen. You got a graphic, and then everybody shut up and play business as usual. And go find it on YouTube or whenever it's up. Then you could see, on your own time, you could see the tribute, but not together live. No. We're too good for Jay, is what WarnerMedia said. And then the reports came that, on top of that, they didn't think that a tribute show to Jay Briscoe would help them with what comes after AEW Dynamite, and that is Dana White's bitch slap contest, or whatever it's called. Little slapping contest. It's Dana White's fucking Slapfest. I don't know the real name. I don't give a shit. I would never spend an ounce of my time watching two dipshits smack each other around. I would lose fucking brain cells instantly. I'd want to fucking show up and smack them both around. But oh, irony. It's our good friend irony and karma, right? We lump those words together when they shouldn't be, but let's use them both here. Oh, the irony that Time Warner thought that Jay Briscoe, a tribute show to Jay, would actually hurt the show after AEW, where they were trying to pull in a big rating, get a big chunk of that AEW audience. They wanted the best possible scenario to lead into Dana White's Slapfest show. And the irony is, not having the Jay Briscoe tribute show hurt them way more than having the tribute show. Because the irony of it all is that Dana White's Slapfest show only pulled in 295,000 viewers. They couldn't even break 300,000 viewers. They didn't even get they barely got a fucking third of what AEW pulls in, which is not that much, by the way. Dana White's show pulled in 295. That's karma. That's the universe. That's justice for Jay Briscoe. Bitch slapping WarnerMedia. You put your little Slapfest show on, and we're going to slap you around. Oh, the irony, by the way, that you can't forgive Jay Briscoe from a decade ago for some comments that were made, that were apologized for 87 billion times. He showed you giving fucking paychecks to causes and organizations. He showed you he matured, he grew up. His family, his loved ones said that ain't it. And he grew up, he matured, he became a better person, a family man, a father, loving husband. And you still couldn't forgive that. Dana White, just a few weeks ago, literally smacks his wife upside her dome piece. And you still put this fucking show about smacking people upside their dome piece on your television show. Jay Briscoe is too much, but Dana White is just fine. Smacks his wife around, and then you put on a show that the dude fucking runs about smacking people. Isn't that ironic? That's irony. But that's okay. You have your fucking ironic moment, your ironic show. Karma will always win in the end, and karma bitch smacked your bitch smacking show. Oh, the irony. Justice for Jay Briscoe in a nutshell. I fucking loved seeing that number. No offense, Dana White, but this was bigger than you, dude. This was WarnerMedia getting bitch smacked. $295K. Was it worth shutting down the Jay Briscoe show? The tribute show, was it really worth it, WarnerMedia? Because you're still getting backlash. You thought you were going to get backlash. Why are they doing the tribute show? Remember a decade ago when he said certain things? Now you're getting backlash for disrespecting somebody who's no longer with us, who's apologized 95 billion fucking times. Now you're getting the backlash justified for being scumbags. Good. And your show after Dynamite pulled fucking peanuts. Probably be canceled within the next month. Wouldn't doubt it. As it should be. I love how that channel and that organization picks and chooses who they forgive and who will do them good business and who won't. Maybe if you ran the tribute show, you would have had a way better lead-in to Dana White's Slapfest show. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on that. You guys know from yesterday's live stream how pissed off I am that Tony Khan and WarnerMedia did not come to a conclusion that we were going to get more of a tribute. 10-bell salute. BC had to do his own fucking 10-bell salute on the live stream yesterday. Thank you guys for enjoying that. But I hope even more so you paid your respects during that moment of silence and 10-bell salute. The hundreds that were watching live, I know did. I saw the prayer emojis up in the chat. And to the thousands that tuned in afterwards, I hope you really enjoyed that 10-bell salute and really gave that honor and respect over to Jay Briscoe, because that's what that was for. That was not just for entertainment purposes. That was to pay the respect that nobody had the balls in the community to give Jay Briscoe. You know, it's incredible they didn't even do a video package. So this tells you that I doubt very much that Tony Khan alone would just be like, nah, we're not going to piss them off. I don't even want to call them and ask. No, this was WarnerMedia. I truly believe. We already made a video in the past about how WarnerMedia doesn't want to do any business with Jay Briscoe and the Briscoes because of something they've already apologized for a billion fucking times in the past, a decade ago. But it is what it is, man. I already said everything I wanted to say, needed to say in that vid. Not wanted. I want to say a lot more, but I'm not going to fucking... You know, we have to pay respect and celebrate Jay Briscoe and not have everything be controversy and not look at everything so negatively. I don't think he would have wanted that at all. We celebrate his career, we celebrate his life, and that's what we do on this fucking channel, I assure you. And it's just ironic how it all played out. and how karma came in and slapped WarnerMedia upside their fucking head when it was all said and done. Love it. Dana White's show got $2.95. I don't even have a problem with Dana White. Wrong time, wrong place, buddy. You're on the wrong fucking station. You're in a fucking storm, an amplified storm right now. And I have my fucking sensors focused straight on Warner, and I am fucking bashing them every chance I fucking get. I'm going to annihilate that fucking station. And that whole enterprise. Fuck WarnerMedia. You said fuck you to Jay Briscoe. BC says fuck you, WarnerMedia. For not showing the proper respect, love, admiration, allowing a tribute. Didn't even have to be the whole to a video package, 10 bell salute, something to really make the world know that we're together in celebrating Jay. Put us all at ease. Let us all take a deep breath live on Wednesday night, 24 hours after we got the news. No. Afterwards, we'll film something. We'll throw it on YouTube and try to find it. Bullshit. It's irony. It's irony how it all plays out. Irony slapped WarnerMedia in the face, and then karma came and finished the job. Good. I hope karma keeps coming to bite you in the fucking ass, WarnerMedia. Now, for AEW Dynamite's ratings, guys, this is not good for them, obviously. Last week, pulling 967,000, and that's with Sasha Banks. The buzz, and you saw how much the buzz for Sasha got. I mean, usually the women, unfortunately, get around 850,000 viewers in their segments. It was around 9 to 950 straight into that second hour and beyond. That tells you that a lot of people were waiting for Sasha Banks. Mercedes Moné. And then you saw the drop-off after the whole tag match for the ladies last week. So even with that, they could not even come close to that mil marker. And again, if you follow numbers, they should be bare minimum getting 1.2. We had to move the goalpost because they can't come anywhere near that. So we lowered it to 1 million. Some people think we just picked that number because it sounds good, and it does. But we had to move the goalpost to take it to 1 million. It was at 1.2, and they just couldn't hit it. So we moved it to 1 million, and they still can't get it. The lead into the bank showed you there was a big buzz. They would have been 30,000 lower last week. You were looking at about 930 to 940,000 viewers tops, if not for the Sasha Banks Mercedes Moné buzz. That's what we've concluded. Numbers guys like BC anyway. So this week you had the tribute, right? Everybody was expecting something really nice that we could all take a deep breath and remember Jay Briscoe by. And you got to believe that was at least several tens of the 20 to 30 bare minimum 1,000 viewers came in to see what was going on. You know, and you see that with such fluctuation, people kind of going back and forth, saying, "Hey, did I miss the Jay Briscoe tribute?" I honestly think you would have probably been seeing 940 to 950 tops with Dynamite this week. But last week they pulled 967, the buzz around Sasha Banks. This week they pulled 969. They went up 2,000 viewers, 2,000, but they lost in the demo, the 18 to 49 demo. They went down 0.4. So. 0.35, 0.31, something like that for the difference. So demo was changed up, but at least they went 2,000 up on the viewership. Again, last week there was the Sasha buzz. This week there was the anticipation of some type of big tribute for Jay Briscoe. Even BC, and I watch vividly for my viewers doing my notes. I was watching even more vividly to make sure I don't miss any type of tribute. So BC can speak for a lot of people that were waiting for something like that and tuning in more vividly. So I think those two things definitely gave a bump to Dynamite. It's just they can't come near that mill. They're kind of stuck around the 950, and the bump last week and this week is at least pushing them over 960. But when you look at the breakdown, I mean, this is where it just gets tragic. This is just not good at all. The only reason they're getting anywhere near 950 is because of that first quarter, that Big Bang Theory and the lead-in to Dynamite. Everyone is still watching the network, and it's almost like they don't have the remote in their hand yet, right? So the first segment, and I'm going to put up the diagram here that BC made for you. And this is going to show you how many viewers start the show. A lot of them maybe have the remote in their hand, and they want you to tell them why they should put the remote down. Why should I give you 2 hours of my primetime television on a Wednesday night, right? And whether they were just watching for Big Bang Theory and then they want nothing to do with AEW, or they were waiting for AEW Tony Khan to give them a reason to put the remote down, and they just said it wasn't a good enough reason. But for whatever reason, from Q1 to Q2, it gets fucking downright tragic. Guys, Q1 started with Cassidy versus Jay Lethal. Now, you start the show at a 1.197. I always tell you guys, you got to start with a storyline, not a match. Engage your audience with a big storyline, a Big Bang Theory storyline, if you will. And if it's done good enough, you keep going back to that one storyline, backstage, the parking lot, wherever you need to. But you keep going back to it throughout the night. And at the end of the show, you culminate the entire night with that same story, and you do it correctly. You leave a cliffhanger that makes the audience need to tune in next week. And you repeat the process till you get to the pay-per-view and you have the epic payoff. But you start with a great storyline. You just don't start with a banger, right? Because as much as you're going to hear the audience yell, "This is awesome," go on social media and everybody talks about what a banger everything was. I hate that word in pro wrestling. I hate banger. BC is absolutely ban the word banger unless we're fucking making fun of it on this channel. But bangers are not going to get you anywhere. I promise you that. The numbers will tell you that. It's not just BC saying it. You know, I always do my research for you guys. I do my due diligence, and I get the facts together. And you look at Q1, Cassidy versus Lethal. They don't want to start with storylines in this company. They just want to take you to a banger, and they think that that's going to do anything. They started at a 1.197, guys, and I assure you, you see on the graph, by Q2, which was the Bucks versus Top Flight, they had lost 222,000 viewers. In fact, that sounds so outrageous that I'm going to have to redo that math right now while making this video, if you don't mind. Let me redo it, because maybe I did a typo here. 1.197, and they dropped to 975 in just one quarter segment. 1075, 1175, 85. No, that is 222,000. Wow, that is not a typo. So literally, by the time they went from Cassidy to Lethal to the Bucks versus Top Flight in Q2, which came in at 975,000 viewers, Q2, they had lost 222,000 viewers. That is basically a fourth of your audience. Nearly a fourth of your audience said, "Goodbye, I'm done with this show." And now you just have to play catch up the rest of the show. You have to try to get as much as you can of that 1.197. You have to try to get that back. And as you can see on the graph already, by the end of the show, they actually dipped into the eights yet again. It's tragically fucking sad. But let's go into Q3. So now you have, by Q3, you have the end of the Bucks versus Top Flight. And then you go into the Acclaimed and the Ass Boys odd segment. Now, ultimately, that would pull 993,000 viewers by Q3. They were able to get 18,000 viewers back. Was that people that just didn't want to watch Bucks in Flight because they were a part of the big 222,000 drop in Q2 and they just wanted to see the finish of it? Or is that because the Acclaimed is so fucking over that thousands of people came back? But either way, 18,000 viewers came back for Q3. Okay, now we're on the uphill climb, you're starting to think, right? Negative. Let's not get carried away. By Q4, Hager versus Starks and the beginning of Bryan Danielson versus Bandito, they pulled in 971,000 viewers. They lost 22,000 viewers, guys, by Q4. Obviously, that is not good. And by the time you hit up to Q5, now you're in the second hour. Now you have a lot of fans coming in, right? This is the top of a new hour. A lot of fans have their show just ended. They're flipping through the channels. They're going to give AEW Dynamite one more chance at the top of the new hour. Now, this is the continuation, Q5, of Danielson versus Bandito. They pulled in 974,000 viewers, guys. They only went up 3,000 viewers at the top of the fucking hour for a match that everybody was having an orgasm over, saying it was the greatest thing of the year so far in the short year of 2023 in a few weeks. But it was such a banger, I was being told. Now, I watched the whole match. It was decent and, yes, good at times. But it was a 20-minute Bandito Danielson match. I don't know what more people wanted BC to review. I saw a good match. The people were absolutely just... they were having orgasms over this match if you listen to the crowd. And you go on social media and people were just... I mean, like, this was the greatest match of all time. And it just wasn't. It wasn't. I watched it live. I reviewed it as truthful as possible. This was, it was a good match, and that was it. That was it. Most people told you they didn't need to see a Bandito Danielson 20-something minute match on a 2-hour fucking Dynamite. And to prove that, the top of the fucking hour and the bulk of this match pulled in 974. By Q6, this is telling, guys, the end of Danielson Bandito, right? If it's such a great match, the fans will tell you because they will need to see the finish of the match. They have to see the climax of the match. Guys, the end of Danielson Bandito pulled in 923,000 viewers in Q6. They lost. Bandito and Danielson lost 52,000 viewers that told you they don't want to see a banger. They didn't want to see 20 plus minutes of people in their tights just doing moves with no real story on the line and a nice handshake at the end. That's not a shocker. BC could have told you that. Q6, Danielson Bandito finish, 52,000 viewer drop, tragically. And then everything fell off the rails. Q7, Toni Storm versus Willow, garnered 853,000 viewers. They dropped astonishingly. I'm even mind-boggled by this number. 70,000 viewer drop in Q7. It dropped so low that it went off of BC's diagram that you see on the screen. I literally, we had to make extra room. It was already off the black screen diagram. It fell too low, guys. They went to near 850, which is that's the beginning of their niche audience, by the way. The AEW niche is 850 to 950. Again, the last 2 weeks you've been seeing 960,000s. 967 last week, 969 here. We definitely believe that's because of the Mercedes Moné bump last week and people expecting a tribute for Jay Briscoe this week. That's why you see a little bit of a bump. But their niche, 850 to 950. By Q7, you were at you almost fell out of your niche. I had to go off the diagram because Q7 pulled in 853,000, Toni Storm Willow. Tony Khan has a massive issue with his women's division. Nobody gives a fuck about his women's division. And that is sad because he's got a lot of talented females. You just got to give him storylines and care. There has to be more than one female storyline. There has to be a female storyline, first of all, that people care about. But there should be multiple. The problem is we're in this vicious cycle where Tony Khan sees that they don't draw, so he's afraid to put more than one female segment in. And if you don't start believing in your females and giving them more time and more segments and storylines, if you don't start to do that, then no care is ever going to be put into the ladies. So you're always going to be dropping with their segments. So something has to give here. It's a catch-22. It's a vicious cycle that we're in. But Q7 shattered AEW Dynamite to the point where they could never come back. And sure enough, Q8, the main event, Darby versus Kushida, which is not that great of a main event at all anyway. No storyline here. By the end of the match, they just shook hands and everybody fucking gave a golf clap because it was one of those AEW, I respect you, what a match we just had type of segments, and we've seen too many of those. It's no reason to tune in next week or the week after or tune into the pay-per-view. This is not a storyline. It's just fucking awkward. And Q8, that main event, only garnered 14,000 viewers back, guys. It actually garnered 867,000 viewers as a total, nowhere near 900K for your main event. And when you look at the show as a total, because of the way that it was produced from top to bottom, you started 1.197 and you ended at an 867,000 viewership. You lost 9,067,1160. You lost well over 3 100,000 viewers from top to bottom. That is unheard of. Unless you're talking about some Monday Night Raws, which BC breaks that down too, by the way. We don't get to get quarterlies as accessible as we do Dynamite. That's why BC can't break it down seg by seg on Raw. But if you ever listen to BC talk about Monday Night Raw and their ratings, I rip that shit apart for justified reasons. Because that show is absolutely tragic as well. The only show right now, guys, is SmackDown that's actually carrying pro wrestling on its back. And if you carry so much weight on your back for so long, at what point is your back going to give out? SmackDown can only carry the pro wrestling world for so long. At some point, Monday Night Raw and AEW Dynamite are going to have to fucking find their balls and step up and start helping SmackDown. And I'll give you guys a little bit of an example of what I'm talking about. Let's look at this graph real closely, all right? This AEW Dynamite graph. You see how just it's usually it's a little bit more fucking sexier than that. It's still a roller coaster and there's still no consistency throughout the show. But I mean, this is just a little bit worse than usual. But usually it's a little bit more like a kiddie coaster. This is just like Space Mountain, dude. This is up and down too fucking tragically. But I want you guys to look at this AEW Dynamite graph. Okay, you see how it's all over the place. And from top to bottom, you lost over 300,000 viewers. People just dropped off. People didn't care about the show. People didn't give a fuck about your bangers. Now I want you guys, and this is thank you to Brandon Thurston in WrestleNomics. This is a different type of a graph. It's more easier for BC just to go over it real quick. So Brandon Thurston, WrestleNomics, thank you for this graph, making it easier for BC to go over it. But I want you to remember that AEW Dynamite graph, okay? And now I want you to see last week's SmackDown graph. Last week's SmackDown quarterly ratings. You guys will see, man. Now this is a sexy-looking breakdown of quarterly segments. Q1 all the way to Q8. This is last week's SmackDown. You see how much more sexy this is, guys? This is how a show should look. You start off with the 2-3. Of course you want to do better than that. But again, when Monday Night Raw is so fucking tragic, it's hurting SmackDown's ratings. So I feel bad for SmackDown that they have no good lead-in from Monday night. A little bit of a coffee break. So you see how we started off. Gunther, Braun Strowman. Now this isn't even a big fucking story like I'm asking for. You could probably get 2-5, 2-6 if you start with a banger story. Put Bray Wyatt in there, for instance. Or if Roman Reigns starts the night. Or some awesome story that makes people put the remote down. You could have gotten an even bigger rating. They chose to go with a fucking straight match. Probably suffered for that. But they still pulled a 2-3-4. Okay, let's start. Okay, that's our starting point. Now, if you're doing this correctly, maybe you can get people to fucking come in gradually and put the remote down. Well, guess what happened by Q2? Gunther and Braun Strowman, the continuation, the end of that match. People actually wanted to see it. It's the same thing I said about Bandito and Bryan Danielson. They lost 52,000 because people just didn't want to see the finish of it. People didn't care about Bandito and Danielson and their 20-plus minute banger. But for Gunther and Braun, it was interesting. Now, if you listen to BC's review of this show several days ago, I said, or last weekend, I said that was actually pretty damn good. I mean, the way it was all put off, the way Gunther looked in there, the way Strowman looked, the finish of it, so believable. And that's why more people came in, guys. What was it? 58, 68, 24,000 viewers? Actually, by Q2, they went up. Now, 66, okay, they lost about 16,000 viewers once you went into the Rey Mysterio Karrion Kross promo, and then a bunch of backstage stuff. And then, of course, the females, just like in WWE, AEW has a bigger problem, but WWE, there's just, here in the States anyway, there's a lack of interest with female wrestling. And again, if you're not willing to put in the storylines, the efforts, and really care about it, then the audience is not going to, and it's a vicious cycle. But the females absolutely dropped tens of thousands of viewers, Tegan Nox and Xia Li. And the Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre and Sheamus backstage segments could not really help that. The tag team division is pretty much non-existent. So you took a fucking hit. Okay, now you're leading into Q5. You need something to really send a jolt. You're at the top of the hour. You want people to become invested again. You know the ladies probably dropped off. So you need somebody in there that's going to captivate. Who the fuck are you going to call on? His name is Wyndham Rotunda Bray motherfucking Wyatt. Put Wyatt in there. He'll get some ratings, but he'll put some numbers some asses back on their couch, put the remote down, and that's what Bray Wyatt did on Q5. He brought back, 50 G's almost? 77, 87, 97, 07. Yeah, nearly 50,000 viewers brought back from Bray Wyatt's fucking 4-minute promo alone. People were tuning in and they went, okay, all right, I'm going to stick around. If you had him in there for 7, 10, 12 minutes of a promo, that number would get even better. And you see that because you lead into Q6, and it was a strong lead-in from Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt led a strong Q6 lead-in that brought in another 16,000 viewers. And that was Morgan Raquel Rodriguez's fucking conclusion. Adam Pearce backstage being berated by Sonya Deville. Cody Rhodes' video package. Showing you Cody Rhodes still fucking draws, man. So that was big. Then we started. Now, I'm not sure why. There was a commercial right at the top of Q7, which is really odd. Usually they won't do it right at the top, so maybe that's what hurt. Maybe something happened on the news real quick that people had to switch over, and then they switched back. But for some reason, Q7, which was Owens and Sami Zayn, the start of it, that had a pretty good, massive drop of 82,000 viewers. The reason I say that's odd, and it was just a real quick drop, was because immediately for Q8, it went right back up. 123,000 viewers, guys, from Q7 to Q8. You went up 123,000 viewers for the conclusion of Owens and Zayn in the whole Bloodline segment. Now, again, that's what happens when you have a good storyline, too. Don't forget, the Bloodline is out there. We know what's happening with them and Zayn, and Owens is involved in that. So, is Roman going to show up? Nobody really knows. So, that's going to add in that interest. So by the end of the night, guys, you look at the start of the show and the end of the show. This is what is so sexy to BC when it comes to numbers and dissecting these shows. You don't get to see this often, but this is the way it should be. The start of the show, 23:48. The end of the show, 23:73. You actually gained viewers by the end of the night. How cool is that, guys? 58, 68, 25,000 viewers more than the start of the night. Just as important, you had consistency throughout the night. Again, that Q7 is very odd because it shows you people were interested in Zayn and Owens. But something happened, and again, I think the ad was just misplaced as well, the commercial break, because it shows you from the seg before and the segment after, involved with the same people, how people were interested. So, man, you got to believe that would have been at 23 at least. They could have been looking at more closer to 2.4, and the consistency line would have been so fucking outrageously awesome. But my point is, guys, that's why we say that what's happening in AEW is just absolutely tragic. There's no reason they shouldn't be hitting 1.2 bare minimum on Wednesday nights with the type of contract he has with the douchebags at WarnerMedia, with what Khan's willing to do, with the superstar, with the wrestlers that he has, with such talent. And there's no reason he shouldn't be getting at least 1.2 bare minimum. We should not have to move the goalposts and start saying, no, he's almost at 1 million. Every week, it's the same fucking song and dance. 850 to 950. Past couple weeks, 960s because you got the Mercedes Moné interest. You got the interest in Jay Briscoe. And is there going to be a tribute? What type of tribute? So they leaked into the 960s. But every week, it's the same shit. 850 to 950. They have no consistency over 1 million. They can't even fucking hit it most of the time. It's bullshit. And even more or just as tragic is when you look at the diagram for an AEW Dynamite show and you watch the drop-off through the night. It's absolutely sad. And then you watch how a wrestling show should be, like SmackDown, and you see that same fucking line, and you see it gain viewers by the end of the night. That is how you put on a wrestling show. I have never seen a Tony Khan-produced AEW show that has come close to looking as sexy as the WWE Smackdown rating breakdown of last week. I say this not because I want to see the company fail. I want to see them succeed. Competition is going to breed the best out of everybody, and it makes wrestling more exciting. For fans, critics, the wrestlers, the promoters, it brings out the best when there's competition. We want AEW to be legit and be able to smack Vincent Kennedy and 3 H's upside their dome piece. But bro, you're beating yourself right now by just producing television just for the niche. That's awesome. That you want to fucking fulfill the niche's fucking desires and cravings. At some point, you gotta bring other fans into the fold. You gotta really be a legit company, man. You gotta grow at some point. This is becoming absolutely stupid that we're talking about the same shit every week. And people just say, well, that's just wrestling ratings, Beasley. It's just what it is. No, look at SmackDown. And when you listen to reviewers like BC, who everyone says we're so negative and angry and all the time we're just so fucking frustrated at the product, we're just never going to like anything. Do you listen to BC talk about SmackDown most of the time? Now, yeah, there's a lot of stupid shit, things I change and I don't hold back, and it sounds like I fucking can't stand it. But a lot of it, I actually don't mind. I actually like. Has to get a billion times better, no question, because it's nowhere near where it should be. So that tells you how much room for improvement we have. But I think the wrestling community, in a nutshell, knows the truth is SmackDown is absolutely the flag bearer right now in pro wrestling, the one that's got pro wrestling on its back. SmackDown's the best show right now in all of pro wrestling. And the ratings will tell you that. You don't even got to listen to a fucking podcaster like BC or anybody else. The numbers tell you that's the number one show. All I'm saying is there's no reason Dynamite cannot be competing with at least Monday Night Raw. I know they've only been around 4 years and Raw's been around 30, but you know what? AEW's got everything they need to do the job. The only one stopping AEW is themselves. The biggest obstacle for Tony Khan to get around is not Vince and Kennedy. It's himself, Tony Khan. Those are the numbers. Again, much love to Jay Briscoe. This is very much karma kicking WarnerMedia in their ass, and I fucking love it. Maybe it's Jay Briscoe smacking WarnerMedia upside the dome piece. Love it. Much love and respect to Jay Briscoe. Fuck you to WarnerMedia. AEW, get your shit in order. Get your ducks in a row and start being a better fucking show. And the SmackDown, I'll say it tonight and I'll say it going forward. Keep doing your thing. Keep improving. There's a lot of room for improvement. Keep getting better and better. These lines could look even sexier in the future. BC Amplified. Saying check you. To my gold team, all of my members out there, man, much love and respect to every single one of you guys. If you don't mind, because I didn't get a chance to do this the past couple of streams, we've been really showing that respect over to Jay Briscoe as it should be. But if you don't mind, guys, I would like to give you guys an actual roll call. So that's the end of the video. You guys can peace out. But to my gold members, my unit members, my channel members, I want to give you guys an actual shout out right now. Let me get a sip of coffee. And I'll give you a proper salute. Starting, of course, with my right-hand man, JR9 Gaming Gold Team. Channel member Carlos Ray right there, brah. Salute, Godswilla, Ash Sims, and Jack Brewer, gold members on this channel. Jacqueline Robinson, Sir Charles, and Sadiqa Flowers. Salute. Also, Anthony Bowley, Ray Foreman, Kim T., and Jimmy J 145. Salute. Crimson Blue 82. Dante Jaron 23. A. Merrick. James Miller. Eric Leno. D. Carre. Cy Parker. And C.J. White. Gold members on this channel. I ain't done, not even close. PB Silly Pride. Deontay Thomas, and Sam Byers. Ashley Steggles, Richard Wade, DeMonte Mabry, and DJ is a prodigy. I'm not done, but a salute to those thus far. Also, shout out to my members on this channel, my gold unit, my gold card members, Alicia Vukovic, Batty Banks, Trina Scott, Christopher Blackshear, Patrick Charles, Thurston Pachelek, and Pimp Jesus. Also, my gold card members on this channel, Richie P, Janelle Layton, Raymond Karan, Kevin Johnston Sabres News Consolidated, Nessie Sunflower, Discovery Metal Legion, Osio Weidman, Dino, and Santivia Major. Salute. Oh, you thought I was done? Not even close. Jared Kelly, gold status. Winbrook 11. James Shrimp Fajitas. Keep rocking, brah. G, a.k.a. True Life The God. WWE AEW Marvel fan. Kate Doherty. Christopher Blackshear Tutam. And Renee G. Salute. Easy Does It. Network Guy Dave. And Sheriff Rivers. D Stands Alone. Xavier 2882. Eric Decker. J. Dwayne Piazza. Quentin Gilbert. Cosmic Fool. Pile Driver Finisher. And Savage 1024, The Punisher. Salute. We're not done. Limitation X, gold status. Big Nang. Redhead Kingpin. Brand Q featuring Quincy. John Gray. Nathan Savay. Miguel. And Rachel Rocca. Jay Khan. Mr. Big 200, Titan Poetic Chef, AWS Promotions, Peter Kakaro, Peter, Reese Monet, Ron C23, Mardo May, Sean Cena, TJ Baines, and Smokey. Also, gold status, Eric Newton, Jamal Straken, Swift 718, Crimson, Brian Robinson, Derek Davis, Lee Laws, Venus Soldier 92, Robert Hurt, Snake Venom, and Silver Black 31. Salute. Oh, I wasn't done. My gold team runs deep. Gold status, Jimmy Fingers 19, Sterling Range, Kazendra Love, Ozzy Edwards, Soldierman 1984, Clutch City Fan, Kevin MD, Taryn Dawn, Jane Donnelly, Buggy, Unique Butterfly, and Willard Bayless. That is my gold team. That is my respect right back to you guys. You guys tip the channel every month on this membership, showing that next level of love and support and respect. It's right back to you, man. Nothing I enjoy more than showing that respect right back and giving a proper salute. So rather than just seeing that in print, I had a few extra minutes. I wanted to give you guys a proper shout out, as I usually would do in a live stream. Salute to my gold team, to my red team, non-channel members, just showing up, showing that love and respect, doing the bare minimum, doesn't cost a dime, not a penny, just smashing that up, totally free, helping the algorithm. You guys, salute. Much love and appreciation to you guys, my entire red team. Go! To everybody, man, kick ass this weekend. BC will be back with you this weekend. We're going to talk Smackdown. The best show right now in wrestling. We're going to talk that. The show tonight, BC's going to dissect that son of a bitch this weekend. So we're not done with content for the week, but this is my chance to say thank you for another incredible week. And we ain't done yet, but we are catapulting, man. We are trailblazing into the weekend, and I hope you guys smash it out. Till next time, BC, top guy, saying peace. Check you. We'll do it again soon. Salud.